Hi.
Hello.
My name's Maya. I'm here with my co-host,
Connor.
And we're going to tell you about...
World's most recorded records. I researched for recorded, and then I realized that my dyslexic brain put the wrong words in there, and it's the world's most records.
What? So... yeah, we're doing like world records, like that animals and stuff have, but you were looking at like most recorded like observations?
Yeah. So I was going through like whales, eagles, and like down like who had been like researched the most, and it's like dogs and cats.
Right.
So I was like trying to find a unique angle, and then I realized it was like midnight, and I had just done like a bunch of tax stuff, so my brain was fried. And then I gave up and went to bed and woke up early to get this research done. So the proper research.
Okay, well, we've figured it out, y'all, and here we are. Thank you in advance for liking and subscribing, and for checking us out on the Patreon.
Heck yeah.
We like our Patreon subscribers more than our YouTube subscribers.
Oh, okay. It's nice there, too, because it's all ad-free.
It's all ad-free, and we have extra content over there. Okay.
Wait, hold on. I have a question. This comes from Drum Dogs, who's asking a question, but if you want to ask your own question, you can go over to Patreon, tier 2, and you can ask us questions. We answer them. But they ask, what if y'all run out of animals?
That's never going to happen.
Especially if we do extinct animals.
Yeah. We don't need extinct... Y'all, there are
it's
10...
the third mass extinction. Sixth mass extinction. And, here in like 5 years, we might have a lot less animals to talk about. Unless we save them.
Over 300,000 identified species of beetles.
But not all of them are so cool to talk about. Maybe like 1,000 of them.
300,000 species of just beetles. There's over 10,000 species of just birds. We only do 4 animals an ep.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
We're good. Don't worry. We're not. Also, we talk about plants here too. So
yeah,
there's a lot of plants.
Yeah,
we're good.
The deep sea too is getting really. Spoilers. I do a lot of deep sea stuff. I'm really into that.
Today?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. I have a C one too, but I'm starting with
2 C1s.
Not the C.
Okay.
A classic. Everybody loves them. If people don't like bugs, they do like these, which I resent, but I also appreciate. Monarch butterflies.
Yay.
Yay, monarch butterflies. Everyone knows what it is. I didn't even pull up a picture of a monarch butterfly because, you know what a monarch butterfly is.
Okay. Assuming. They
have a 4-inch wingspan, or 10.2 centimeters.
Sorry.
They're currently listed as endangered.
Yep.
I've posted about this some recently with Xerces. They're being reevaluated right now. Their status is being reevaluated. So U.S. Fish and Wildlife is proposing to list them as threatened. Xerces is recommended that they get listed as threatened. Why? Because when species are listed as endangered, also with monarchs, because they're migrating, it just changes all of the pesticide use across the nation. Which gets very, very complicated. And then I guess when they were listed as endangered, people started trying to breed them at home. People would go outside and they would take chrysalises out of the wild and try to rear them inside. They would buy monarch rearing kits because they were trying to save the species.
I did see that be a trend briefly.
Yeah. And that's just spreads parasites and produces individuals that
but they really
don't have the ability to navigate properly.
Yeah, they suck. You have to I was told this by an entomologist that monarchs are kind of dumb. And if you bring them inside, you're going to mess them up. So it's takes a lot of work, and they're really delicate for rearing them outside.
Okay, I don't know if I would say that they're dumb for that. I just think
I didn't say it. I'm just quoting.
Okay. Verbatim. So yeah, they're now being their status is being reevaluated. We'll see how that comes out. The eastern population of migratory monarchs has declined by as much as 84% between 1996 and 2014. Western migratory monarchs dropped from about 10 million in the 1980s to just 1,914 in 2021. That's a 99.9% loss of the population of Western migratory monarchs.
That's crazy. I hope they're the gateway bug.
They are.
because
Kids love monarchs.
you told me like, hey, I think it was, I can't remember what we were talking about, but it was like driving road trips, smash bugs on the windshield and on the car.
We did talk about that. I didn't read the comments. Did anyone resonate with that? Did you notice when you were a kid and you drove around and you got somewhere, like there were a bunch of bugs plastered on your windshield, and now you can do a road trip and there's like no bugs on your windshield?
That hit it for me.
That's real, dude.
That was like, oh, because like you can be like, oh,
sorry.
You know, they're in a huge, you know, crisis right now, bug crisis, but like it's hard to get that data. But that's a very tangible thing to feel. And I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah. Here is a picture of a monarch if you want to see his little face.
Cute.
Oh, cute. You know what that is? The straw.
I want to say proboscis.
Proboscis. They have a little sippy straw built in. It curls up like a hose. And when they go to drink nectar, they can extend it. And,
That's cute.
And it's a little built-in straw. Kind of cool. Okay. Why monarch butterflies in my records? In world records?
Because they are in a bunch of theme parks all around the world.
No.
Like statues of them. I don't know why.
They hold the longest journey made by a butterfly.
Oh, okay.
You know how long their migration is? Just guess. A little monarch butterfly, 4-inch long wingspan. Guess how many miles their migration is?
6,969 miles.
Okay, no, like 3,000 miles. But that's still crazy. That is crazy. There was a tagged male monarch that was released by Donald A. Davis in Ontario, Canada. On the 10th of September, 1988. It was recaptured on the 8th of April, 1989 in Austin, Texas. So it traveled 2,880 miles.
Wow. How do you tag a monarch butterfly, Maya?
You could probably say more about that than I can. You put a little on their wing. Tiny little
sticker. Like now they have small enough like that they're little Bluetooth chips.
So
they're
cool.
like stuck onto them.
So cool.
And I really want to, once the pollinator gets going at Alveus, I want to put a Bluetooth way station there.
Yeah.
So it picks up if any other monarchs come in with it to ping it. And they gamify it. It alerts you on your phone.
So sick.
So it's really cool citizen science.
They can fly up to 100 miles a day.
What?
With the right conditions. How many miles a day can you fly, Connor? None.
4 inches.
0. And they can fly up to 1,200 feet in the air, which is crazy. 800 to 1,200 feet up.
Wow.
Pretty impressive. The monarch butterfly, okay, let's talk about the migration a little bit. They're the only butterfly known to make a 2-way migration because they can't survive cold winters in northern climates. They don't like the cold. Relatable.
Makes
so
sense.
Monarchs we'll pull up some maps here. There are monarchs in eastern North America that have a second home in the Sierra Madres of Mexico, and then monarchs in western North America overwinter in California. Also, there are some monarchs, by the way, that don't migrate. They only live like 2 to 6 weeks of life.
Sad.
In like South Florida. But migrating monarchs live 8 to 9 months because like they have to go 3,000 miles.
Right.
So this is what, actually, the monarchs that migrate, so they go to overwintering sites, which is crazy because they go to the exact same overwintering groves that their ancestors used.
Smart.
But they've never been there before, right? Because they only do one migration in their life and then they die.
Right.
How are they finding the exact same tree? We don't really know. But I can't wait until we find out.
It's got to be what, genetics and electromagnetic.
Genetics, like magnetic fields, sun positioning.
You know how we'll find that out?
What?
With quantum computing and AI in like 5 years.
Okay. We'll see. Here are some overwintering sites in California state parks. Those pins.
That's cool.
They're very, very specific. These are what overwintering sites look like. This is an overwintering site in Pismo Beach.
Okay. Oh, cute.
A lot of butterflies. Pismo Beach, California. That's where I went to college. And
There's
then
a ton of butterflies, audio listeners, on a tree. It's like canvassed.
Yeah.
In butterflies.
Here's another overwintering site. It's just so many butterflies.
It looks like the leaves on a tree.
They just cling on to all of the branches until you cannot see the leaves, like, or the branches at all.
That's really cool.
The whole tree is made up of
Did you ever see that in
butterflies.
person?
No.
You
should, though. Well, I don't know that they really look like this anymore, to be honest.
Probably not, yeah.
So here's what the migration maps look like. Monarchs in the north travel south and west-ish for the winter.
That's a cool map.
Overwintering, right? There they go.
Whoa, look at that corridor. I know where that corridor is.
And then the next map is after winter, they migrate back up and then they breed back in the U.S.
So like we're smack dab where they're traveling.
They're coming through Texas. So what do we have to do, Connor?
You told me that I've got to plant milkweed everywhere or else I'm fired.
Milkweed everywhere because they make this insane journey. They come. You guys probably have heard like, oh, plant milkweed. So milkweed is the only plant that monarch caterpillars can eat. And so after they make this migration, they come back, they find a milkweed plant, they lay the eggs on it, and then they die. That butterfly dies. We're the first stop. Right. If we got milkweed all over Texas, they just have to find one plant in Texas, and then they lay their eggs, and then they can rest, and it's over.
Right.
Good job. Success. Huge success. If they do this migration and they cannot find milkweed, then they just die without laying eggs.
Damn. How many eggs do they lay?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But that's crazy. So that's why planting native milkweed is important because you give butterflies a place to land and lay their eggs after they've made this insane journey. Also, how cool to have milkweed in your yard and to see a butterfly land on it. If you're in one of these states and being like, oh my gosh, that butterfly just traveled like 2,000, 3,000 miles to get here. That is crazy.
I've got a note that says 300 to 500 eggs from a single female monarch butterfly.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So
I didn't look that one up.
That's cool.
Okay,
Forest Service has 100 to 300 eggs. That's huge.
Cool.
Okay, so like you need a lot of milkweed then because then they pop out of their eggs and they eat the milkweed, right?
Yeah, and caterpillars, they grow like 3,000 times their size.
That's crazy.
From when they're hatched out.
That's insane.
Yeah. So they need a lot of milkweed. But just like, I don't know, go find native milkweed. You can go to Xerces, XERCES.org, to find like native regional milkweed in the US. And you can plant it and then you can wait and see. And imagine if you saw a little monarch caterpillar and you were like, oh my God, I came from Mexico. Like, that's so cool.
That's very cool.
That's so cool.
Make sure it's native milkweed.
Native milkweed. Do that. Anyway.
Plant it everywhere. It's super easy to take care of. I think you can just throw some seeds out and it'll pop up, right?
That I also don't know.
Pretty sure.
You can also buy like plants.
Yeah.
Like milkweed plants.
No, it's really cool.
They're already established. That's my first world record holder.
Nice. I want to give some context on the most records. Because it depends on how you identify it. And if you look hard enough, you can find animals that have like quote unquote the most records. But the most Guinness World Book of Records holders are dogs.
Is that like unfair?
Yeah, because it's like that's what they're focused
the
on.
Most studied. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like I was thinking about it or I was researching it, and you can find super fine niches and give them, I've got I'm going to talk about colossal squid. They got 5 of them.
Oh.
5 records. But like if you want to really get specific, you could come up with like 20 other records if you really wanted to. Okay. So it's pretty interesting. We've already covered one of these animals, but before I get into a colossal squid, I think the world record holder should be from episode 8, tardigrade. They can survive space, super cold temperatures, boiling water. They can survive crazy amounts of things. So that was a really good episode. If you want to go check it out, episode number 8. But colossal squids.
They went to space.
They did go to
space. It was
awesome. Colossal squids. So one of their records is they're one of the most mythical sea creatures across cultures. So you have the kraken, which is Scandinavian, Scala, which is Greek, Lusca, which is Caribbean, Umbazu, I'm probably saying that wrong, which is Japanese, and there's a bunch of other mythical creatures centered around colossal squids.
Do you believe in anything mythical in the ocean?
No.
Connor believes in ghosts.
Okay.
Sorry, should I not tell them that?
No, it's fine. No, I don't think there's anything mythical. I think there's aliens in the ocean.
Do you think that there are like ghosts of sharks in the ocean?
No.
You think there are only ghosts of people?
Probably.
This is turning into a whole different conversation. That's very interesting.
Probably. Animals shouldn't have really ghosts, from at least my experience.
Why?
Okay, we're getting into another thing. But like animals for the most part are pure and wherever they go, they just go. Humans have a lot of other issues, so they get tied down to this plane. And so
you think only bad people have ghosts?
Not necessarily. But anyway, not to get into mythical's
We
not
should do an
ghosts.
episode on this.
Mythical is not ghosts. I think there are some like ghost cats and stuff like that, but like I don't believe in them necessarily unless there's like something really bad happened to them.
Oh, something bad has to happen to them. Like they're not ready to go.
Yeah, probably.
Bad things happen in nature though.
I think it's more like when this is about to
What
get
if
dark.
a human what if bycatch? What if a human bycatched a dolphin?
That's a good point. I'd never thought about that. I don't know.
That's messed up.
Because I'm thinking like the few cat ghosts I know, like people drowned them.
Okay.
And then they haunted those people. Because they put the cat in the bag and threw them. Yeah, horrible.
Ooh.
I hate that. Like, I want to kill those people. Anyway, but I never thought about bycatch. Maybe there's those
because like
dolphins.
they weren't done.
Okay, I'm talking about mythical creatures. It doesn't have to be a ghost.
Okay.
So we're like, the colossal squid and giant squid.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference?
One sounds bigger.
One is longer.
Okay.
Which is the giant squid because
Okay.
it has longer tentacles.
Okay.
And then the colossal squid is just way beefier and heavier and everything else like that. So it's been in a lot of myths all around, and for the longest time people thought the sailors were crazy.
Right.
But there actually are giant squid, colossal squid. So it was first described in 1925 by Guy Robinson, who found 2 arms in a sperm whale off the Falkland Islands.
Yeah, what a trip.
Yep. So this is like a representation picture of like, it would be a much larger, audio listeners were looking at a whale with a tentacle attached to it. It would have been much larger than this little tiny tentacle.
Finding that and not knowing that those exist is crazy.
That's when it like people started to be like, okay, maybe you're onto something here. But they would also find beaks in the stomach of sperm whales that had washed up. So the beaks of these, and they're like, oh, this is a huge beak. It's not like any normal squid that we've seen. So here's evidence to suggest that there's colossal squid.
Yeah.
So it wasn't until 2007 when a colossal squid was caught off of the coast of Antarctica. It was 1,091 pounds or 495 kilograms. This was the first one that was caught kind of alive. It was on its way out.
The weight of a horse.
Yes.
For 10 of me.
And where they live is in deep waters of Antarctica, mostly 3,300 to 13,000 feet or 1,000 to 400 meters deep. So dark, like it's dark down there. Yeah. And it's very cold, which is crazy. But yeah, so they typically weigh around 1,100 pounds or 500 kilograms, which is a grand piano or 7 kegs of beer or a full fridge or 11 Mayas. They are the largest squid species by weight. That's the second record that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third record they have is they are the largest invertebrates in the world.
Sure.
So we have a little comparison of a diver to a colossal squid. It's a weird perspective because it doesn't feel that large, but if you put them side by side, it would be a lot larger. But I think Oceania, the group that did this like to like make them not as scary. I
was gonna say they don't look that scary in this picture.
Yeah, I think that's purposeful, and I've been seeing a big shift in just the videos I watch about this. Trying not to describe sharks in the ocean is scary. Mm-hmm. Like they're shifting away to like it's so cool, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Less Jaws like. So
neat.
So they can grow up to 46 feet.
Okay.
Or 14 meters or 9 miles long. Though some species are smaller, historical records indicate that there's been a colossal squid that was 100 feet long or 30 meters or 20 miles. So quite large.
That's hard to wrap my head around.
What? 20 views?
Yeah.
Wow. That's like 10 stories up. 100 feet. I don't know how many school buses that is, but a lot. So females are larger than males. Its gelatinous body makes it difficult to crush, whether that's from what hunts them, which are sperm whales, or the deep sea, because they have to dive pretty deep there. There's not much known about them, especially on their mating habits. And they're thought to have a short lifespan of 1 to 2 years, which means they have to grow that
so
large,
fast.
that fast. Yeah, it's insane.
That's whack.
They're still trying to figure it out. They could live longer. Who knows? Here's the other crazy thing. This is the 4th record that they have. They have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
It's 12 inches or 30 centimeters in diameter. And I have a prop to help us here.
Oh.
This plate is 11 inches. So 1 inch bigger than this.
Wow.
It's bigger than your
Audio
head.
listeners, it's a dinner plate. Here is colossal squid's eye next to my eye.
It's insane.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. And they grow that in 1 to 2 years, actually shorter than that.
I want to meet one. I want to give him a high five.
No, you don't, because their tentacles are lined with sharp, swiveling hooks that make them deadlier than giant squid suckers. Yeah.
What?
Pull up a picture.
I always thought they were just like octopus tentacles.
No.
What?
They can just into you. They can latch on.
Guys, imagine, you know what an octopus leg looks like. Imagine octopus legs with the little suckers, but the little suckers have barbs on all of them. I did not know this. That is crazy.
So that's why you see their main predator, sperm whales, with scratches all over them from fighting.
No.
It is the ultimate fight.
That's very cool.
No, it's insane.
That's
insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's so they are pretty slow in general, but like compared to like the giant squid, these tentacles are way more powerful, way more muscular, and then with the added sharp hooks on it that they swivel, by the way. Swiveling hooks is crazy.
What do you mean?
Like it can 360 on it.
No, it cannot. Within that sucker?
It can't go indefinitely, but yeah. I don't know, like the actual
they
degrees.
Can move the whole.
Yeah. So how do you? Because like the tentacles are all over the place.
Yeah.
And so they get all different angles, and then they're like need to like switch around on the sperm whale to fight it and get its beak in there and eat it, not eat it, but fight back. And how else do you think they have to like detach every time to like reposition? So instead, those swivel.
Wow.
Yeah. You want to give it a high five still?
No. It's literally an octopus, but with teeth on all of the suckers.
Yep.
I just didn't know.
Yep.
Did anyone know that? Am I stupid? Did you know that?
No, but I wasn't surprised because I've seen scratches on the sperm whales.
I
And
thought
they're
it was
like
beak.
ultimate fight. Yeah, I thought it was beak as well, but it made more sense that it was tentacles.
Oh my god.
So they're carnivorous. I said that wrong every time. Primarily eats fish and other squid.
Yeah.
They aren't sure exactly how they hunt, whether they're ambush predators or sit and wait, but they're thinking like maybe ambush. They love to go in dark, deep canyons. They hide in the canyons because you have to avoid the sperm whale's echolocation, the clicks. So how do you do that? You hide behind rocks, right? If you're smart. But how do they learn that when they're only a year or two old and then they die? I don't know. We still need to learn so much about them. But if a sperm whale comes up and tries to eat them, they have two options. What do you think
back.
What's the other option?
Flee.
Not quite. Because sperm whale's going to catch them fast.
Ink.
Yes. They can ink them. So there's some legends out there that there are colossal squid.
You guys made me ink.
Had to or inked some boats and crashed some boats and like shipwreck boats because they inked them everywhere. So who knows if that's true, but who knows? Yeah. Anyway, so they have a crazy strong beak like a parrot. We have a picture here. It is like a freaking large macaw beak.
What the hell? It looks like I don't know if you guys have ever seen a cockatoo. It looks like a cockatoo beak straight up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I was expecting like a fortune teller like the top of a fortune teller, so like a barnacle, like a barnacle beak. I didn't think it was like that.
It's a really strong beak too.
Bro, that's... I'm trying
There's
to be
so many
open-minded.
muscles around it. And it's weird too why they have a beak. I was like, why don't they have a bigger mouth? Because they're going after bigger prey. They're giant.
Sorry, also, by the way, a guy's holding it and like his whole palm is like the top, and then his other hand is holding the bottom, and it's like the size of his whole palm. It's huge.
Yeah, it's like 2 hands wide, yeah. And this is probably a smaller beak too.
Yeah.
And so they use that beak to like chew up because they have a really narrow body, so they have a really narrow esophagus.
Yeah.
Or not esophagus. Yeah. Yeah.
Esophagus.
And it has to like chew it up slowly. So if you get caught by one of these, it is a slow, painful death.
Yeah.
What?
You're right.
Okay.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just... Guys, don't worry. They're not after you.
No, they're not. There's never been records of them going after boats. So, well, historically they think so, but like, yeah, it's unlikely.
Those sailors were full of
rum and whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have the last one is I saying they have the record for the craziest underwater fight because sperm whales are like grabbing them. We have some pictures of what this is a sperm whale that was attacked or died by a colossal squid. I guess the colossal squid probably didn't kill it, but it just described the picture, Maya.
It's a sperm whale lying down it's like beached on the sand. Sperm whales are huge, and it's got all these scratches on it that looks like if you crashed out on a chalkboard and you had chalk in like a bunch of pieces of chalk in both hands and you just all over the chalkboard. It looks insane.
Yep. It's crazy. And the next picture we have is kind of like what they imagine the fight is. Nobody's ever gotten the fight on record, but like there's an artist rendition. It's just insane. The squid is wrapped all the way around the sperm whale. The sperm whale's mouth is crazy, but it's also kind of small. So they both have really small mouths.
I saw a really cool, the Museum of Natural History in New York has a diorama.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's
really cool.
So we can throw it up there. Yeah, it's very cool. Wow, that's crazy.
It was a fun research.
Yeah, I did not know.
I want to see one from an ROV, but just an ROV.
I want to be in the water.
Yeah, in the Arctic.
High five. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of records. That's pretty good. Okay. Mine is a clam. Actually, I'm going to tell you guys about Clam-gate. This is ocean quahog clam. It's a large rounded clam. They're filter feeders found from Newfoundland all the way down to North Carolina. They look like this. You've seen them before because people eat quahog clams. Very common. It's exactly what you think of, I think, when you think of a clam.
Yeah.
Clams that people see, but they can get huge. Ta-da.
Wow.
Pretty big.
Like, what'd you say, a softball size in someone's hand.
Yeah, softball. So this is how they live, by the way. In the ocean, they bury themselves in the sand. And then they're bivalves. So that little thing sticking out is how they filter feed. And
they're buried.
Yeah, they're in there. And so this is what it looks like from like top down.
You can tell us how people harvest them in the future? Or can I ask?
People harvest them?
Yeah.
They like dredge them up.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's sad. Okay, so why is this my record? There was one specimen who made the news in 2006 when it was dredged up off the coast of Iceland. It was a large ocean quahog that was going to be used for research. Like they were digging them up to do research. Turns out was the oldest known individual ever discovered and the oldest substantiated animal on Earth.
Whoa!
So far.
That's cool.
Guess how old?
Put him back.
Really? They died.
600 years. No.
Well, right. So this is why Clam-gate, people were like, they knew like how old he was. And like they pulled him out. Oh, by the way, they're hermaphrodites. So like, I don't know what the pronouns are to use here. They clam. They didn't know they did want to study longevity in these clams, but they didn't know that Ming, this clam, was 507 years old.
Wow.
They found out after Ming died. They nicknamed him Ming because the Chinese dynasty of the same name was coming into power at the time the mollusk was born.
That's awesome.
And settled on the ocean floor. In the year that Ming was born, Leonardo da Vinci was at work on the Mona Lisa.
Nice.
And the first recorded epidemic of smallpox hit the New World.
Oh, not nice.
When Ming was a baby. But yeah, Ming lived to be 507 years old. The crazy thing about that is Ming was 507 years old. That's like, there are probably some that are so much older.
I hope so, and I hope we never find out.
You can find out how old they are by counting their annual rings, growth rings in their shells.
That's cool.
BBC called it Clam-gate. People were very mad that they killed this clam. Very mad.
I'm mad now.
Yeah, they accused scientists of knowing that Ming was that old before killing him. But realistically, they just dredged up 200 clams, and they found out later.
I hate that you have to dredge up. Like, you're destroying so much of that ocean floor that you just don't know about. Yeah,
but NOAA says that it's actually pretty sustainable. Like, there's been no evidence of overfishing for this type of clam. So they recommended it as like a more sustainable clam source.
I bet you could like farm it probably pretty easily. Like, if you know there's like a specific spot that's non-damaging, you go there the whole time and you're not messing up new habitat.
Yeah,
that'd work.
Yeah,
little clam farm.
Yeah, that's my clam record. 507, oldest substantiated animal on Earth.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I thought I had a lot more there, but I don't.
No, I think that was good.
That's all I got.
Quiz
time.
I have not over on Patreon. How many episodes have we done of like trivia and quizzes? Like 40 something.
42.
42. I've never won one trivia.
It's a shutout, y'all.
Against Maya.
We're 0-42.
Oh, that's pretty bad. One day I'll win. I get close.
Maybe today's the day.
Today's the day. You should check it out.
Patreon after this.
Yeah.
Question: what is the only creature that can turn its stomach inside out?
Starfish.
That is correct.
What? Wait, why?
I'm becoming a marine biologist. That's how they eat.
How'd you? Ew, really?
Okay. I follow this controversial. No, I don't follow. It pops up on my For You page on TikTok, a controversial a vlogger, I don't know, that does a bunch of swimming and like off of Hawaii, and he like shows
disturbs wildlife.
Yeah, he puts it back. I don't like or follow. I just watch the whole video.
Sure.
I'm not hate watching, but I'm also not pleasure watching. I don't know what the word is. I'm observing.
Okay, what do you got?
Ocean sunfish, or like
big boys.
Sunfish as a whole. There's a bunch of species.
Dude, I love their faces.
Dude, they're insane.
Such funny faces.
All right, so they've got 3 records, and we have a picture up. Maya, what does it look like?
Like Caillou if you flattened him and put him in the ocean.
Caillou? How old are you?
26. Why?
I feel like Caillou is like that's like something like a 16-year-old would know.
What?
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, it reminds me of Mrs. Puff if she was flattened from SpongeBob.
It's a really big, flat, like grayish white fish.
It's insane. So they don't look like they should have a tail, but they don't, and they have like they have 2 fins, one really big, thick one on the bottom, and then like just like a shark fin almost at the top. They do get misidentified as sharks sometimes. They're giant, so they have 3 records. They are the largest bony fish in the world. Sunfish are. They generally weigh around 2,205 pounds or 1,000 kilograms or 22 mayas. But the largest ever found was already dead. It was floating on the top of the water in Portugal. It was a bump head sunfish. Here's a picture of it. It weighed 6,050 pounds or 2,700 kilograms, or it's large as an SUV, like heavy as a huge SUV, like a Cadillac or something like that. Or it's 60.5 mayas.
Dang.
It's massive. They didn't kill it. It is eaten in some Asian cultures, but like they're really not fished that much. It's more like the bycatch and like the like getting caught in nets and stuff that's causing significantly more issues. So they're generally around 14 feet tall by 10 foot wide or 4 meters by 3 meters. They're very large.
Cute.
It's insane how huge they are. They love, their favorite food is jellyfish, but if jellyfish aren't around, they will eat small fish, lots of zooplankton and algae.
They're not fast. How are they catching fish?
No,
Slowly?
2 miles per hour. Well, they can sprint. They can sprint, and I'll tell you about that in a second. So they live to be 10 years old.
Okay.
They're listed as vulnerable, again, from like the fishing net entanglements and fishing lines. We have a picture. It's really sad.
Oh,
They're
I hate
huge.
this picture.
And like they can't like, I don't know. I feel like the larger you are, the easier it is to get caught in this kind of stuff too.
Yeah, how is he going to get himself out of that?
Yeah, so because like they just can't turn as well. So they're preyed upon when they're younger by sea lions, killer whales, and sharks. Some big sharks will go after some adults. You can see some of these sunfish with like big chunks bitten out of them, and they're living and they're fine.
Dang.
But their really only defensive mechanism is their skin. It's 3 inches thick or 7 centimeters thick.
Dang.
I don't have my tape measure, but it's like what, thumb size? Yeah, that's a lot. That's just skin too. Oh, yeah, 3 inches. Yeah, thumb. A little bigger than thumb. Anyway,
that's crazy.
So they also on their skin have a lot of parasites, which is weird because they're swimming at 2 miles per hour or 3.2 kilometers. So they've got to figure out how to get those parasites off of them. So they do 2 things. One, they come to the surface and they will they'll jump out is the first one. They can sprint. They will breach the water and they will go 10 feet in the air as max or 3 meters high. And this is hopefully to dislodge the parasites.
Wait, how do they propel themselves? They don't have a tail with those fins? That's it? Really?
Yeah.
But they just look like a slab. Like those fins don't look like they have any muscle at all.
Agreed. I don't know how they do it, but they do.
Wow.
They're like flying out sideways out of the water. 10 feet high is their max. They generally just like skim like the water, go like
Dude,
2 feet up.
They're so chill, cool guy, but then they get so annoyed with the parasites, they just crash out and they're like, get them off of me!
I think they'll probably
jump out of the water
a little bit too for like if they're getting chased.
Oh.
But they think it's mostly parasites because if they're that large, things aren't really going after them.
That's crazy.
In 2005, there was a 1 meter or 3 feet 3 inch long sunfish landed on a 4-year-old boat.
Okay, see, I was gonna ask. That sounds crazy dangerous.
It is.
People.
It rarely happens.
Right.
So the 4-year-old boat was in their family, or 4-year-old boy was in their family boat off the coast of Wales, and the fish landed on him in the boat.
Died?
No, but the kid was fine. But it was a big guy, and the kid was injured, but he made it out fine. So
that's funny. I'm sorry.
There's very rare.
If he died, it wouldn't have been funny.
Right.
But that's funny.
It is funny.
Did they get him out of the boat?
Probably.
The sunfish?
They didn't say in the BBC article.
Hope they got him out.
Kayla and I were just laughing about it.
Yeah, that's
reading
crazy.
it. After we learned the kid was fine. So the other weird thing that they'll do that people will see more often is sunbathing at the surface. Here's a cute little picture of like what the parasites are. But they'll just like come float at the surface and like be like a little island almost.
And then will birds come down and get them? Parasites?
I didn't see anything about that. Maybe. I don't know.
I would if I was a bird. It's a plate.
Yeah.
Ocean plate.
But like hopefully the sun like gets them
Rise
off.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. So here's the other record, which is insane that they have. So females of these species can produce more eggs than any known vertebrate. They produce at one time 3 million eggs. 300 million eggs. Thank you.
What?
I messed it up. I said 3 million eggs. 300 million eggs. Thank you, producer, for my notes. 300 million eggs. They're tiny. They're the size of.
And they just like let them go.
Yeah.
And then
in the water.
Male fertilizes on. How does he just knows where they are and.
They also release sperm. And like
wow.
hopefully It happens. Which is really interesting. How to describe what they are? We're gonna see a picture of them.
You have to lay a lot of eggs in the ocean if you're going to fertilize eggs that way.
300 million. It's insane. So the fry that survives grows up to 60 million times their original weight when they reach adulthood, because they have to go from, we have a picture here, this tiny little, like, if you ever shot like a Red Ryder BB gun, it looks like one of those like BBs.
Yeah.
And then they could get as big as 6,000 pounds or
that's crazy.
2,700 kilograms
That's
or
so
60
cool.
miles. It's insane. So they have the other record for the most extreme size growth to ratio of time of any vertebrate animal. So within 10 years, or like whenever they reach maturity, from going that size to like 6,000 pounds, they have the world record for that. So 3 world records for ocean sunfish. So
Congratulations to the sunfish.
That's really cool.
I like them. We should get one for the tank.
Sure. Let's do it. They do really well, apparently, like in like the big aquariums.
Really?
Yeah. So Georgia Aquarium has one.
Oh.
We would have saw one.
Cool.
Next time.
All right, guys. Well, there's some of your world records on World's Wildest today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to go film our Patreon episode, and we'll see you over there.
See you over there.
Bye.
Goodbye.